Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is the Steve Red Power Hour. It's your boy, C Red. I'm in the spirit, if you understand.
And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We used to be called Last Man Talking, but while on hiatus, we're the Steve Red Power Hour. Tonight, it's the eve of Thanksgiving, and the only way to celebrate Thanksgiving properly is to pay homage to food.
Properly.
Well, we can do that too, to pay homage to food. And there is nobody better on this planet to help us pay homage to food than the one, the only Chicago sweetheart, that is Missa Kate. Missa, welcome.
Ooh.
Technically, if you're getting right down to it, this is actually the Missa Kate Thanksgiving special. So it's all about her. It's all about what she does. And we're just here to kind of ask her questions and go from there.
It's not about me.
Before we start, did I ever tell you I was born on Thanksgiving?
You get right out of town. You were born on Thanksgiving? Holy crap. So happy birthday.
Right?
Well, happy. Right.
Your birthday,
Should this be a birthday show?
Right?
What's up?
Your birthday's the 23rd, right?
Correct. It was so every 7 years it's on Thanksgiving.
That's right. But that's amazing. That is one hell of a thing. So happy birthday. By the way,
happy
Red.
belated birthday.
Red, are you ready?
You.
Am I ready for what?
The young lady's birthday this past week, so we gotta sing happy birthday to Missa Kate.
Oh no, you don't.
You ready?
You don't have to.
Get those golden
Okay, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to Missa Kate. She is pretty great. Happy birthday, Missa Kate. We love you. So
happy birthday. See, I sang right along with
you. Yeah, you're a pain in my ass, but the cigar is still lit, so that's good.
Hey, and the whiskey is great too.
So I've been more active on Twitter lately than I ever have before.
Why?
And Missa Kate is a regular beast on Twitter. She is everywhere. You are all over Twitter. You tweet many things. And that's where I came into contact for the first time with the magnificent Agree to Disagree podcast. It's the kind of podcast that you don't know that you need in your life until you hear it and you realize, how did you live without this prior to hearing it for the first time? Missa, talk to us a little bit about the Agree to Disagree podcast, because it is magnificent.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Thank you. No, so pretty much Bryce, who is the we say co-host, but we're both equal, so are we actually co-hosts? But anyway, so Bryce and I just, we'd always when you're on road trips or whatever, going to the next wrestling show, we'd be talking about different subjects or different topics or whatever. We're like, damn, we should just do a podcast or record these, because we'll notice that we'll bring the conversation to other people, maybe at the show or something like that, or at practice. And they're just like, yeah, you're right, blah, blah. They'd get into it too. So we're like, dude, we should just totally start a podcast one day. Obviously, quarantine hit. So we were like, we got nothing else to do. So we kind of got whatever money we could together, and we put together this podcast. So pretty much what it is, we have so many different topics. We talk about some taboo topics that will be coming up. As far as literally anything. It's not
Spill
really
the tea. Stop playing. Spill the tea.
Well, there will be an intergender wrestling podcast episode coming up soon. There will be, I don't want to spoil anything, because there's still some in the works,
Well, I mean, when in this case, when I mean spoil the tea, give us some of the good stuff that has already taken place that you can talk about.
Thank you. See, I'm getting new at this stuff. I'm getting new at it. I appreciate the help. But yeah, so pretty much the previous episodes, we have a total of 3 out right now. The first one was just the year the world went crazy or whatever. Just kind of talking about modern day things right now as far as the election and COVID, and just kind of all that came with it, and all the fun stuff. So that was the first episode. The second one was about our retail experiences. So like I said, we're all over the place, but
Retail is terrible. Retail is awful on every level. I've worked it my whole life. It's the easiest way to kill yourself a day at a time.
Yep, 100%. And when I was working, I wasn't in Chicago. It was right on the outskirts of Chicago, a suburb. The retail place I worked at. So the minimum wage was even lower there than it was in the city. So I'm like, I'm dealing with this for literally nothing, pretty much. But anyway,
my favorite line from that podcast was, I really enjoyed working there when it was closed, which is what every human being that's ever worked retail agrees with. It's great as long as you don't have to deal with the customers.
No, dude, like, it's so fun. Like, I can't tell you how many times when we do, mainly during seasonal hours, so like holiday hours, we'll be sitting or we'll be doing overnights or something, cleaning. We'll be having the music blasting. We'll be joking around, whatever. That's when it's fun, and that's what makes it worth it. But when you're like, I think I said it in the podcast, an instance where this lady was trying to return something to our store that was not our product, and we're like, lady, this is not from here. And she got mad and she threw the clothes at my manager in her face and walked away. I'm like, so you don't want to return you don't want to return the clothes from wherever you got them from, because obviously you just wasted them here, and two, that was so unnecessary and rude.
And you worked at a children's clothing store. That's the best part. Yeah. You worked at a children's clothing store, and somebody's mom throws the clothes in the face of you and your manager. That is retail right there. And that's why everybody should get extra money for working retail, because it sucks so badly.
I worked 2 days in retail and I quit. So.
That was all you need to know.
I lasted a year. I needed the money. But it does make you appreciate people that do work retail, and my family appreciates people that work retail more, because my grandma, love her to death, but she's getting older in age. She's almost 80 now, so she's starting to get like cranky and wants to return. You know what I mean? She's one of those old ladies. So me and my mom have to keep reminding her, like, hey, remember when Missa worked retail? Like, remember all the stuff that she told us she had to deal with? Now you're that person. Let's be a little nicer. But but my family, because they would hear my stories, they're like, wow, we never really, and they would think back to, I'm sure everybody has a bad day. So I'm sure I've treated somebody a little meanly at a retail store. I know they have, so they look back and they're just like, damn, yeah, that's not fair to that person. Because at the time I was like 18, 19. So you're yelling at a teenager over clothes. You know what I mean? So
the world is a magnificent place. My favorite part of the podcast, Agree to Disagree, available on Spotify, is you trying to wrap your personality around the personality of Bryce Benjamin. Now, we all know Bryce. We all love Bryce. He's one of the most talented, charismatic people I've ever met in this business. The best part about him are his very extravagant opinions, and watching you try to weave your work around the just the vastness of what is Bryce. That's what makes it so good. It's the chemistry, because Bryce Benjamin, when that mic turns on, you can hear him turn on, because a couple of the podcasts, okay, the mic's on, we're ready to go, and all of a sudden he goes right into the NPR voice, and suddenly he's flat earth Bryce Benjamin. And his personality is dynamic, and watching you and listening to you work around the grandioseness that is Bryce Benjamin, that's my favorite part. Because when a guy is when you have that kind of charisma, it's hard to let people have a word in edgewise. But he knows that he pushes, but then you stick your 2 cents in, and you can see him pull back. He's like, oh, I better pull back. And that's what I think makes it so great.
Yeah, in certain episodes, so like when we get together, we try to record at least like 3 to 4 at a time, because obviously we don't, we're not, it's quarantine, so we can only see each other pretty much at practice. So either before or after, we're trying to like pump a couple out really quick to have for the upcoming weeks. And we couple of the episodes, he had to like reel me in. So I think was it the one that we see? And this is where I'm like, we get so mixed up because of how we do them, we post them. I'm like, damn, I forgot what did I say this here? Or was it that episode? Anyway, I want to say the most previous episode was was it like a female mind, right?
The torture of a female mind.
Yeah, the torture of a female mind. I'm trying to remember if I said it in that or we have an upcoming episode talking about relationships between or different perspectives between male and female. And there was one point I was maybe talking about an ex and I got a little too excited and he's like, all right, he's not here, relax. Like, but yeah, so he's had to reel me in a couple times, but yeah, no, it's a good balance.
I understand.
It. Go ahead. You got something, Red?
No, I just said I understand the reeling in part because I have to do it with Steve so damn often. So
it's a fair point. It's a fair point. In tribute, kinda, to the Agree to Disagree podcast, I'm gonna play a couple of songs because they usually start their episodes by picking songs, and they each contribute a song. Well, I didn't tell you I was gonna do this just because I wanted to see how you'd react. So I've got a couple of songs here that and we'll let Missa pick the song for the episode. So let's play song number 1.
All right, what's the second one?
Okay, that's a terrible song, but it's called Sweet Sweetheart. So I was trying to work in Chicago Sweetheart. That was the best.
Oh, I got you.
That, of course, was the incomparable Brady Bunch from 1967. So that was number 1. And then I decided to get a little more contemporary because, you know, Mrs. Young, she's happening. So let's go with this.
Oh, this Gwen Stefani?
Yeah. Come on, see Red dance. No. All right, well, that worked great. So, okay, so those two suck clearly. So we're just going to go with the traditional Thanksgiving fare, and I'm not even going to give Missa a choice. And, of course, it's not working. Well, I was going to, well, you know what? I'll fix it. Give me a second. Let's say something smart.
Mijo. Oh, my God.
What would you, Red, what would you pick for this episode then? What song would you pick?
Anything that could drown him out.
Oh, that's just hurtful. That's hurtful. I don't appreciate that. I'll get it in a second.
Am I supposed to be? First of all, time out. Just because we have a lady present, does that mean I'm supposed to really start acting like I like you? You know, am I supposed to act like I like you now all of a sudden?
Here we go.
Charlie Brown, done. Yep, winner.
You can
no question about it.
Taste the popcorn and the jelly beans on the plate in the Thanksgiving episode. Get you.
Hey, man.
Mr. Kate says Charlie Brown. It's a peanut.
Why you cut it off? Like,
well,
I know, right? Go over here jamming.
All right. Well, we'll play it. We'll play it when we close. Thanks to the Agree to Disagree podcast, the Charlie Brown, Linus and Lucy theme is our song for tonight. What is it like sitting in a room with Bryce Benjamin trying to out-talk him? Because I've watched people try to do it in the ring. Don't work. I've watched Marche Rocket try to do it, and Marche can usually out-talk anybody. He can't do it. So what is it like? How do you out-talk Bryce Benjamin, the man that is Bryce Benjamin?
I don't think I do.
Nobody does.
Like I said, it depends on the topic. There's been a couple times where he's like, damn, like chill out. But no, for the most part, yeah, it's mainly him doing most of the talking.
I see we have something in common, Missa. Our co-hosts do all the talking.
This is not exactly true. Wrestling in 2020 has been a bit of an enigma. Way back in January, back before the fall of society as we know it, we did some wrestling. And at CSW, there was Missa Kate, our champion. And then a few months later, there was no Missa Kate. and you were gone. But
Yep.
you didn't stop. You've been everywhere. I saw you kill it at Zello. I've seen you up in Wisconsin doing great things. So talk to me about where Missa Kate is at right now in 2020 and where she's going in 21.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, COVID shut everything down. There's a lot of more opportunities that I was supposed to get, just like a lot of people that were taken away because of this. The most important one to me was I was going to meet Lita. And she was actually coming. Yeah. Yeah, I was, needless to say, like, I was so devastated. I was so sad.
No one will ever forget you dressing up as Lita and hitting that Lita Kunrana. That was a great moment in 19.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, she still did it better than me, but I tried my best. But yeah, like that was fun to do. And I was supposed to meet her actually it was kind of like a 2-in-1 opportunity at Rise. So I had an opportunity to be on Rise.
Wow.
Yeah, so that, yeah, and that was definitely like on my bucket list. And it was going to be their last show, like ever, because from my understanding, they were going to have to shut down due to whatever their reasons may be. But that was going to be their last show. And I was like, you know what? I was like, doesn't even matter that it's the last show. To me, it kind of made it cooler that I was going to be in Rise's last show. I know I wasn't going to be like a major part or anything like that, but just the opportunity to be on it, I was so excited because that's somewhere that I always wanted to wrestle and perform at.
So now here we are, and as we've gone through the summer, there were some opportunities, and I saw you out and about doing some shows. What was your most memorable show in a year that everybody's going to want to forget?
Ooh, I like how you worded that. I think, I don't know. I have a couple for like, I've definitely been more of a heel this year. So, and with that, I feel myself starting to come into my own more, and kind of really find who Missa is in the ring. So that's probably the most important thing to me over any of the matches. But throughout the matches is where I found them. A great opportunity that I had was Sky and I got to wrestle for OVW.
Al Snow's promotion.
Yeah, he gave us feedback on our match, and he was really, for the most part, I want to say happy because I don't think I did see him smile while I was there. I was convinced he didn't smile. But yeah, he smiles. Yeah.
Especially when he hits you with head, he really smiles.
Yeah, right. But no, so yeah, he gave Sky and I like good feedback, and we were given the opportunity to come back, I believe, but we just have to get our licenses for Kentucky. But obviously the process is going to be harder now because of everything that's going on, and you can't travel state to state. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go out of Illinois over there. And I mean, I was taking all the precautions. I know everybody was. So, I mean, that made me feel more comfortable. But yeah, I mean, that was a good one that came out. And you can check it out on YouTube. I posted on my YouTube, finally starting to put matches on it on my channel.
You know what I used to really enjoy, and that's why I like Agree to Disagree so much, because it seems like almost an extension. You used to, when you would go to shows, do little vignettes, and you would put them on the YouTube channel where you would be dealing with your Mountain Dew addiction and your donut situation regularly, and you'd post them, and they were very situation. There's a donut situation, clearly.
Oh yeah.
I always enjoyed watching them because they were always very funny. And I thought you were very much in your element when you're just kind of wandering around backstage talking to anybody that would listen to you in search of Mountain Dew and donuts, which was typically the main theme of most of them.
Yeah, and that's typically what I'm doing backstage most of the time anyway. So it's pretty accurate. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm the worst at recording. Like I'm someone that I'd rather be like in the moment. I don't Snapchat. Like I know a lot of people do a Snapchat thing. I can't get into it because I'm like I can't live my life on a phone like that. I'd rather live with people and actually experience something. So because of that, I always forget about recording. And I'll have people and like fans now are coming up to me and be like, "Did you record today?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. Sorry." So I do have to get better at that. But I don't know. Like how it's like backstage. It's hard to, everyone's running around and like, oh, you're getting pulled here, and then this person's doing that. And you don't want to interrupt them. So, and you don't want to. These people don't want to be filmed, so you got to make sure you're over here. It's like a whole
yes.
it's a thing. So I'm like, what's up?
Uh-oh.
Flag on the plate. He doesn't understand the backstage like that, sweetie.
I've been backstage. What are you talking about?
He's really who is he? He does nothing.
Aww, he's Steve.
Just Steve. Just Steve. He doesn't wrestle, so he doesn't understand.
I don't wrestle well. I've
been
there a couple of times. I didn't do well, but I gave it my college try. Damn it.
Well,
all right. In 2021, that might change. IPW. That's real. I might be coming for you, Red. Anyway.
Can I ref?
Would you like to? Because that would be great. I might need some help.
I will ref. I will ref you guys.
No, because you already said that you feel comfortable as a heel. If you're a heel, I'm a heel. I'm not gonna have you turn on me. No,
That's fair.
No.
That's fair. No, I'd be a fair ref.
I would like to see that. That would be very interesting. You brought up a few minutes ago at OVW with Sky. Sky Blue has had a tremendous year, and she is sometimes your tag team partner. And I had forgotten, once upon a time, I had heard you call yourselves Too Nerdy. And then when you were talking about tag teams, I was trying to very lamely name you. And you're like, dude, we're Too Nerdy. And I'm like, yes, you are. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did you get that name?
We were Sky and I are dweebs. So we just, I don't know, we're just like, oh, we're such nerds, like about everything that we say or do. And we're just like, one day we're like, oh, if we had a tag team, like what we call it? I'm like, dude, we're nerdy, like we're dorks. Like, let's just be like Too Nerdy. And it has to be like 2, like the number 2, because it's nerdy. But yeah, so that's how it was just like random. We're just talking about it, trying to figure it out one day. And ironically, I don't even think we've tagged just us 2. Like it's always been like a 3-on-3. So it'd be us with somebody else. So we officially have not had a traditional tag match for Too Nerdy. So this is going to be like, I feel like it's going to be one of those tag teams that never officially tags.
We are pushing that hard. I am bending the ear of John Bullard at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling on the daily to make that happen, because I want to commentate it. I want to call that match because I think it would be very entertaining. And I had Axel Rico out there recently, so some of the people that I work with at CSW are making their way to Chicagoland Championship. The more the merrier, because the product is great. Too Nerdy will return with us on December 16th, and Sky and Missa get an entire hour to talk Christmas. So that's coming December 16th. So if you like what you're seeing tonight, and how could you not, then December 16th, it's going to be pretty cool too. As we go toward Christmas. Now, it's Thanksgiving. You ain't getting no
Christmas gift, so.
What?
You ain't getting no Christmas gift, so.
Well, I didn't. Of course I'm not. Just basking in your presence, Red, is the Christmas gift that you give everybody.
I give that to you every 365.
That's how I'm aware.
But the only gift you're getting, he's only getting cold.
Steve a t-shirt. You have to make Steve a t-shirt that says just Steve.
Even that's too much publicity for
Hey, at Chicagoland, I am the one and only. So that I got that little thing now. That Greg Hansen labeled me the one and only. So I had to be something. Joey Roth's the villain, so I had to be something. That's what he gave me. So I'll take it. I can merchandise that. I can put that on a shirt. Just like Too Nerdy is like a merchandise gold mine. It is that you could. The beer coot. Yeah, see, Red is a merchandising genius. He's put his face and his likeness on everything. But I think Too Nerdy, that's something that at Pro Wrestling Tees would be a hit.
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving. And tomorrow is the day. It is the biggest food holiday in the history of recorded time. And it started off as just a feast of Thanksgiving for the New World. You've heard the story, the Pilgrims, etc. You've heard that story, right, Red?
Mm.
They teach that at your school, don't they?
No, we don't teach that.
Why don't you teach the story of the Pilgrims and such? Thanksgiving.
For what? Because
they took it out. Actually, they took it out of a lot of curriculum.
Because again, Steve looked like he started Thanksgiving 3 months ago. So I mean,
You're not Aaron Xavier. Your fat jokes are very thin. Get it? Fat, thin. It's very good.
No, but you're not thin though. You're not thin.
Well, I can't argue with that. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and tomorrow is a day of food. And if you look at Twitter, Missa Kate loves donuts and cuddling dogs. So
yes,
cuddling dogs.
There could be some dog cuddling tomorrow, but there's going to be food. Not necessarily donuts exclusively. So when Missa Kate sees that, okay, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and you have a license to eat on Thanksgiving. And if you have family, not that you're going to do it this year because everybody's pretty much staying indoors and not really traveling, supposedly. What is Thanksgiving like for you in normal times? What does Missa Kate do on Thanksgiving when it's normal and we're not experiencing Armageddon apocalypse all in the same year?
So, yeah, right. So, I mean, my family's never really been big on holidays. But we would usually get together if we could, because there's marriages and whatnot. So mainly my aunt who's married, she usually goes by her husband's family because they have kids, and then they can hang out with their little cousins, which we're like, I'm the oldest of my cousins, of the grandkids, we'll say, by like 10 years, or no, more than that, by like 15 years or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, they're you could go, you could bring them up there. I'm not gonna get offended, I promise. No, I mean, I love them obviously, but I know they're gonna have more fun. They're more fun over there, and but yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy. We usually do turkey, obviously, sometimes a baby ham. I don't know, we just eat like the typical bullcrap stuff. Like, I don't eat cranberries. Oh, tradition. Haha, I got a tradition. So when I was younger, don't know why, my uncle George, he, black olives. So we had yeah, they're good. So we had, I guess that's like something that they would always have, and we still continue to have every year at Thanksgiving for us, on the table. And just him, I was a kid, so he's trying to be fun or whatever. He puts them on his fingers. So like on all 10 fingers, there's like olives. So every year, that's like our weird tradition thing. That's how we have to eat our olives. Just me and him though. We have to put the olives on our fingers and like, that's like, I don't know. It's stupid. It's so weird.
That's fantastic.
That's like but that's like the only weird thing that we do. Other than that, it's just kind of like we chill. Because it's my birthday, we're usually celebrating my birthday / Thanksgiving. And yeah.
That's gotta be cool.
What
other holiday do you get to get gifts and have all that food? That has to be pretty out. I mean, I'm just saying for me,
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, come on. And like, we're feasting for my birth, pretty much, it's a feast of my birth.
Well, and again, I get it because
fantastic.
My birthday
podcast.
Look, dude, I'm talking.
Sorry, dude.
You're so rude. Anyway, I understand because my birthday is 5 days after Christmas. So growing up, a lot of times my family would.
Oh, do you get double gift?
I used to. But then when you get older and you have kids, that kind of goes out the window. But again, as a kid, I used to, and it used to be pretty awesome. So I understand having food and gifts, and it's like, hey, I'm celebrating twice in one night.
Yeah. Pretty much. Did you ever get, because your birthday's right by Christmas? I would get it by some family members, where they count your birthday and Christmas present together.
Oh, I hate that. I
Wrong.
hate that.
Yeah.
People
Dude, I'm
try.
like, excuse you.
My own parents.
My birthday like March or April or something. Like, I didn't choose to be born on this day.
My
I
own
get 2 presents.
parents decided one year that they wanted to. They've been doing cash for forever. And
Yeah.
God rest his soul, my dad. And he turned around one day and handed me an envelope on Christmas. And it was like, oh, okay, great. And there was like $300 in there. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys. And they were like, yeah, but you know that's your Christmas.
Yeah, I can't
And
tell
I'm
you how
like,
gotten that. Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, my birthday is days away. You already know you're giving it to me today. It's not gonna make it to my birthday.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, don't do that. Please, people, don't. So anybody that is out there watching, that wants to get either me or Missa a gift, understand they're 2 separate days.
Yep.
So 2 separate gifts. So for her a Thanksgiving gift and then a birthday gift, and for me a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. Don't worry about Steve. He don't deserve it. So.
Aw.
Oh, this is just depressing. You're bringing me down, Reb. That's okay. That's
what your wife says every time she sees you.
All right, so I'm gonna walk right past that one. Let's talk about some of you've talked about your Thanksgiving traditions. Now I want to talk about Thanksgiving memories. We all have them. Do you have a favorite memory from Thanksgiving? I mean, you're still a relatively young person, so you're
relatively
young. Thanksgivings and mine are completely different. But do you have a favorite memory? Like you know what? That one year we did this and it was great. What's your favorite Thanksgiving memory?
Honestly, I don't know if I have one. I mean,
that's good because that means they're all pretty great.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I was just giving you the out. I
appreciate that out. It's needed. No, but they're pretty much they're all pretty similar because we're not really a family that celebrates a lot. So it's very mellow. I guess the most exciting thing is that my birthday's on Thanksgiving. Because then it's like extra party, I guess, because we're like, ah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. What, do you have one? Maybe it'll trigger something.
Well, once upon a time, when I was a young man, my grandparents came out to visit, and they lived in the East Coast, so we didn't see them very often during the year. So they came for a visit, and I want to say I was 10 or 11, and we got the idea to hide under the dinner table while the adults were talking, and we would reach up and grab the glasses of wine and, steal the wine. Well, apparently I got sick and passed out, but it is a cherished family memory that has been told in the Arent household for years. I, of course, have no recollection of it, but I have to believe it was pretty cool.
Alcoholic Anonymous. Somebody call AA, please. His name is
necessarily. That was a long time ago. It's under control now, really. No matter what Miller and Cody do, those bastards. Anyway,
really, Hi is Cody.
I hate Cody. I hate Miller. I hate them both. I hope they burn. I hope they choke on a chicken bone tomorrow. But that's coming up in 2021. We're ending 2020 here on the positive note. So, Agree to Disagree, the podcast on Spotify, Missa Kate and Bryce Benjamin. So it's your birthday, and having a podcasting partner and a trainer, that should be requisite of a birthday gift. So I'm wondering what Bryce Benjamin did for Missa Kate and her birthday. Is there a gift? What does one give one's podcast assistant or co-host? Because I'm not giving Red anything, but I might need some gift advice. In case I have.
He gave me a text that said "Happy Birthday" with an emoji.
Wow.
Well, you know what? When you get right down, when you cut to the chase, Isn't that really the gift that keeps on giving all year long?
No,
Only getting a birthday wish from Bryce Benjamin, but an emoji as well.
Well,
That
you
is
know what?
in a nutshell.
Because it was from Bryce, Lord knows, I probably pass out if I looked at my phone and Bryce sent the
No, you
text.
could have given me some Krispy Kreme.
Well, there you go. Did you get them? Did you get the Krispy Kremes?
I did not, no, because I have so many other sweets to eat that I would have been in a literal sugar coma probably if I got the Krispy Kreme donuts. Because I had a slice of cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. I had a couple of red velvet cupcakes, cookies, freaking cake. But
you don't enjoy sweets at all, right?
No.
You don't enjoy sweet things at all.
Never, yeah. I didn't make a T-shirt or anything out of anything sweet either.
By the way, that is a fantastic T-shirt for someone that likes donuts to have the Krispy Kreme logo saying Missa Kate. That is fantastic marketing.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a couple fans, mainly Javi, I believe, was the first one that told me like, "Hey, why don't you make a T-shirt or whatever?" And that was like months ago. And finally, Vinny is the one at Pro Wrestling Tees that made the T-shirt. I just sent him a message. He made my other previous T-shirt. It's an updated Missa Kate Chicago Sweetheart T-shirt. I was just like, hey, do you think you could make my name into like a Krispy Kreme logo? And he was like, I love it. Yeah. No, he always recommend him. I love him. He's spot on. Before I could even tell him the idea that I had, he already sent me what I had in my head. So yeah, he's fantastic.
All right, so as we're getting close to the end, let's talk donuts, because it says on your Twitter page that you eat the donuts, and you have a Krispy Kreme T-shirt that you're selling right now on Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy the T-shirt, listen to Spotify. These are all things that Missa Kate is doing in lieu of wrestling right now because we can't wrestle at all.
And if you go right now, after you watch this show, 20% off Black Friday sale starting today. Go right now. Get her shirt. Get my shirt. Steve doesn't have one, so
nope.
Oh well.
No shirt. Maybe in 21. You never know. I hear the Gorilla Position's getting a T-shirt.
Get the Just Steve T-shirt. We just gave you an idea.
No.
It's a great idea. If I get a Just Steve, will you buy one? If I get a Just Steve, will you purchase that shirt?
I would wear the shirt if you gave me it.
Okay, well there you go. Okay. Free merchandise. I love it. That was very marketable. Very nicely done. So let's talk donuts. You love donuts, Krispy Kremes, obviously. So break down your favorites, because the fans want to know what your favorite. In case they see you and they want to give you gift of donuts, they will know what to give.
You can't go wrong with original. You can't go wrong. I feel like there's nothing that tops it. I know they just came out with I'm such like a weirdo. People are like, you put like on my Instagram story, I'll put like their new like flavor or whatever that they're trying. So like they did like a chocolate one, now they have a caramel one. And I didn't try the caramel one yet. And so yeah, I mean I'll try some here and there. Not from Krispy Kreme specifically, but I think it was Stan's Donuts. Stan's Donuts is, I believe they're just in Chicago, but they're so good. Red velvet cake or red velvet donut from them. Another favorite of mine. I like red velvet. So you can't go wrong.
This is like the 10 donuts. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I have never tried a bacon donut yet. A maple bacon donut. I'm scared. It's very intimidating. I have to like mentally prepare myself for that one. It's like bacon, which is amazing, and then donuts. So I'm like, if this tastes horrible, it might ruin everything for me.
Yeah, that could shift the earth off its axis. You love bacon, you love donuts, but what's that going to look like together? And could it ruin donuts and bacon forever? That's a gamble. You got to roll the dice on that one.
Yeah, and I've heard
nothing but want it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things, but I have had a couple people say it's disgusting and never try it. So those are the people where I'm like, I'm scared they might be right.
So let me ask you this: have you ever tried an old-fashioned donut?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From the South Side, from Roseland?
No, not yet. I have to. Nice. Okay. Duly
Uh,
noted.
any
Definitely.
any donut that you have ever ate, you will throw away. Any donut.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's a bold statement right
Any,
there.
dude, it's not a
Right.
bold statement. It's just fact.
I
That
mean, Missa's
you
a donut aficionado, so that's
and
your
and
you're
try,
playing right into her
so
strength.
again, look up Roseland. Now again, I suggest you bring your trainer with you, just to have your back. It ain't the safest place, depending on the day. But
Yeah.
the donuts, oh my God, I would go upstairs and beat my mama to death to eat a donut.
Wow. Yeah, that's
That's
a good
donut
donut.
right there. All right, so tell
Yeah,
me why they're so good. What about them?
dude, it's nothing that you can say. It's an experience on its own.
Well, come on, you got to give us something.
Once she goes there, or she has one, or in 2021, if any fan that is watching this brings her one, trust me, she will understand. Her mouth that will go to her head, then go to her heart, and understand at that point all other donuts cease to exist.
Wow. You make this donut sound like it's going to be a religious experience.
It's way past a
Right.
religious
It
experience.
might. I mean, most of my donut experiences are pretty religious, so I do go through a little process, and I thank everybody, and I'm very appreciative before I eat a donut. I have to be in my Zen mode because I'm about to, So I understand. I understand.
Quick funny story from the locker rooms I don't get to go in, says C-Red. Once upon a time at CSW, when Missa Kate was the champion, we were finished with the show and there was some cleanup going on and we were still in the locker room, and Missa had some donuts and she was about to eat the donuts. The box was open and she wasn't gonna eat the whole donut, but she was just gonna take a bite and then move on to wherever she was going next. And somebody tried to have a conversation with her. And this is true. I saw this, eyewitness. She slammed the box shut and said, "Do you see me eating this donut?" One of my favorite memories of all time. She doesn't even know this. She probably doesn't even remember this, but I remember sitting there
I
going,
don't,
"That's the
but
funniest thing I've ever seen in my life."
believe it. I believe it.
Was
I
it
don't
Steve
like
Boz?
people
Was it
messing with
was
me.
it was it Steve Boz?
No, I don't think it was Steve Boz. No, it wasn't Boz.
Oh,
It wasn't the BOZ. I think
oh.
it might have been the lady she was wrestling that night. It might have been the devil's best friend. What, I can't remember her name. The devil's favorite helper. I'm too old for this job. I can't remember names anymore.
There
Heather
was
Reckless. Heather Reckless.
And he
Heather Reckless.
wondered
yes.
I think that's who it was.
and he wondered why CSW just doesn't want him anymore.
I know. I do my best, but that's all. That's okay. I don't mind. So as we bring the
Join the
that hurts my heart. As we bring the Thanksgiving episode, first she was there and then she was gone, and I'm like, where'd she go? And very, very disappointing for me.
Yeah.
As we
Whatever. It
Yeah.
happens.
It happens. So as we bring Thanksgiving special, the Missa Kate edition, to a close, I'm going to ask you both this question, and I'm going to start with our special guest, Missa. What are you thankful for? Let's bring it down and make it real. 2020 has been a kick in the pants, a kick in the butt, a kick in the nuts, whatever you want to call it.
Kick in the nards.
That's it.
No, yeah. I mean, I think everybody can definitely agree if 2020 brought us anything, it's to appreciate the stuff that we take advantage of and make us wake up and realize as well, like, stuff that we do take advantage of. So and what we're thankful for, and as you said, like, Thanksgiving's coming up, definitely stuff that I'm thankful for. I am thankful for my family, obviously, for supporting me through like this crazy wrestling life that I have, through school, through all my sports or whatever. Definitely thankful for everybody that, like, I've train with, my trainers, um, my like friends and family of the wrestling. So you guys of the wrestling business, I like all of you guys are freaking. It's like overwhelming, like the support and like the love that you feel without really recognizing it, if that makes sense.
It does.
And I think, and I never really realized that till recent. So, stuff like that, I'm so thankful for that. We do have like a good little support system, um, and like the fans are another. Just me posting that T-shirt, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" So just like that, or like any fan that's like been asking me, like, "Oh, how can I support you during this?" and um, during this time, and how are you doing? And people checking on my mental state, and I'm thankful for that. And just I don't know, just a lot of like you said, like we're getting around. Like it's just this year's been a doozy, but um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful I got a roof over my head, that I just got a new car finally. um, and I got a job. So I mean, I know I posted like a week ago or whatever. Within 3 days, like I had a bad couple days, and literally a couple weeks later, just from like so like I keep saying support, and I'm trying to think of another word, but like I just like through everything, like I appreciate it so much. So I mean, yeah, I have a lot to be thankful for.
That was very well put, and I could feel it, and that's the important thing. That was not Missa Kate, the performer, the podcast hostess. That was right from the heart, and I appreciate that. That's what we love. C Red, what are you thankful for?
And our time is almost over.
I like how he ended with a joke, though. I appreciate that, because I'm like, that was real serious.
But no, I already know this dude. So, um, Steve knows that 2020, and since this is our show and not that other show, I can say what the hell I want. And 2020 has been fucked up for me.
Yes.
I've lost family. I lost my best friend. Um, it's just been real shitty.
I'm sorry.
So, I look around. I still have my family. Um, as much as she drives me crazy, I still have my mother. Um, I have, believe it or not, and I said this yesterday. I have my students, and regardless of how crappy a day I'm having, they do some of the most ridiculous stuff in the world sometimes. And even online, it kind of takes, like, I can't be upset, I can't be mad, I can't be sad. I can be mad, but I mean, like, oh my God, you know, it's just like, did he really just do that? And then it's like, okay. Um, so, I mean, I'm grateful. Um, Again, I think, like you said, um, we're still here,
Mhm.
and that part is enough to be thankful for. I mean, I'm one of these people. I used to watch the news religiously, at least up to the weather, because they
Mhm.
forever messed that up. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but I can't even watch the news now. For the simple
Yeah.
fact, when you constantly hear about all these deaths that's COVID related, and like I said, for
Yeah.
me to lose two of the most closest people ever to me in the same year, back to back. Um, you know, I figure anybody that's still standing right now, or more or less tomorrow morning when you get up, you've got a lot to be thankful for. You know,
Mhm.
and even though I have even a play sister right now, she has it, and she's on a ventilator. She's at home though now, but it's like you've got a lot to be thankful for, and it's a scary time, but I'm one of these people that have taken on the moniker. I refuse to live in fear now. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna sanitize.
Good for
Even
you.
especially when I get off with Steve, I always have to sanitize.
Gotta clean. Extra scrub.
Glad that I'm
But
filthy.
but here's seriously on a real note. I'm thankful, and I know this is gonna sound corny because everybody's expecting it, but I am thankful for Steve. Over the past year, we have gotten closer. Uh, we I think we did great,
We did.
before the pandemic hit, and then it hit and we still kept going. And
Never surrender. Never
it, wa-
surrender.
it wasn't until, it was out of our control to take a hiatus,
Mhm.
but even now, Steve is like, you know, and I think we both feel the same way, like, dude, we
Yeah.
can't let the show die just
As
because.
long as people will come on Zoom and talk to us for an hour, we will keep doing it because I think the people really like to hear what's going on and like to identify with the people that in this business. People like wrestling, like the wrestling.
Hey,
Like,
hey, I'm not done.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And last but not least, I'm thankful for young people like you, Missa. And here's why. Knowing your ability, uh, I believe Chicago is in good hands. You have all I whether you know it or not, I know all your trainers. Uh, so uh, and they have trained you well. You're making a name for yourself. Therefore, I think Chicago, especially, I hate that the women's scene in Chicago is not where it should be. But knowing that you have taken the moniker and you have put that weight on yourself, I'm proud, that, I believe and I'm thankful that you are going to be a very bright star in this business, So thank you so much for even
Thank
taking
you.
time. So
Well,
Thank you.
that might have been the nicest thing I've ever heard C Red say on any show that I've worked with him on. That's really good coming from him.
I'm not lying. I'm like, thank you. I'm trying. I appreciate that. That's really sweet.
I'll tell you what, 2020 has been a bit of an ass kicker, and we're going to get this band back together on December 16th, and we're going to bring Too Nerdy in. So I'm not going to say goodbye just yet, but I am thankful that we've had an opportunity and a platform to do this all year long through pandemic, and I'm also thankful to all the people in the business in Chicago to embrace somebody that isn't one of their own. And make a 50-year-old loudmouth feel welcome. So I thank everybody. Obviously, I'm thankful for my family. And this is Mrs. Like, I think she's been on my shows like 6 times. Every time I call and ask her, she always says yes immediately. She was on our biggest show of the year that had over 1,000 views when we had the women's panel about all the thirst and everything that was going on with the fans and the Speak Up movement. And that was game changing stuff. So we were very happy you were a part of that, and I'm very happy that you always seem to answer the call whenever I call you, and that means a lot to me. And he's right. Wrestling in Chicago is in good hands because I feel like you're here for now, but I also feel like right now you could be on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night anytime because your contemporaries are going there and you're along those lines. You're definitely good enough. You're definitely talented enough. So I think 2021 might be Chicago Sweetheart Goes Global. So we thank you. We love you. And we'll see you on December 16th when Too Nerdy take over the Steve Red Power Hour for the big Christmas spectacular. There'll be Christmas cookies. There'll be Christmas music. There'll be
cookies. Sorry.
Like C Red said, we're not going to worry about language. We are going to Christmas the shit out of December 16th. So if you enjoy Thanksgiving with Missa Kate, wait till Too Nerdy comes at you because that's going to be some good TV.
Hell yeah, I'm so excited.
For C Red, I'm Steve. That's Missa Kate. Thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. And we will catch you on the flip side, people. Have a good night and a even better tomorrow. Good night.
Ba-ba-ba-ba!